Like clockwork, kids and teens are paraded before a judge. A snapshot of time in the juvenile justice system.
A group of kids looking for homeless people to beat into serious injury.
A small sampling of the roughly 750 cases that cycle through the King County Juvenile Courthouse each year. Kids barely 14, up to 16, accused of armed robbery, stealing cars, and violent attacks. The numbers show a troubling trend. This year in King County, nearly 500 juveniles have been locked up.
We're talking about more serious crimes.
According to Chief King County Juvenile Prosecutor Jimmy Hung,
the numbers aren't great. I think there's somewhere around 51%.
Of the 500 in jail, more than half come back.
There's a general belief that 10% of the kids cause 90% of the problems.
By comparison, when prosecutors keep juveniles out of the formal court process and instead send them to what's called diversion programs for help in the community, those kids fare much better, with 10% in King County, not 50, reoffending.
How can we use our system, use the court system to identify what are the risks and needs of these young people?
King 5 has analyzed data from our 3 most populated counties and found juvenile crime, especially serious crime, is on the rise. In King County, crimes committed with weapons are climbing, with 2024 on pace to exceed pre-pandemic levels.
All right, now.
Among the county's frequent flyers is 16-year-old Tyshawn Pinckney of Kent.
It was hard.
He and his dad say the trouble began during the pandemic.
I was always getting bored at home. And I was just like, you know what, I just want to go out. And then I found this, I had this one friend and he was just bad, you feel me? And so, I started to hang out with him more. He encouraged me to sneak out and don't come home, just run away and stuff. I did some really dumb stuff and I got caught up.
He's not quite sure if he was 12 or 13 when he had that first run-in, or even how many times he's been arrested.
The very first charge was a misdemeanor. It was a traffic violation or something.
His dad, Jerry, guesses he's been in custody at least 10 times in roughly 4 years.
No parent wants to hear their child being arrested, so it was heartbreaking. I was hoping that, that can never happen again. It shouldn't happen again.
But it kept happening, and the crimes grew more serious.
Theft of motor vehicle, robbery, and then honestly, I don't even remember.
In and out of juvie, where Tyshawn says the treatment didn't seem therapeutic, but more of a punishment, with shame and boredom at the center of his days.
Some of the people in there treat you like you're nothing. You know what I'm saying? They treat you like an animal. When you're in there, it's kind of depressing. And you just have to, you just look at some walls all day.
King County says they work hard to enrich the kids' lives in custody. There's school, a new music program, classes on independent living, substance abuse help, therapy dog programs, and more. All that costing the county about $800,000 per year, yet the recidivism rate isn't budging.
Certainly it's not perfect, it's not a science, but a lot of what we're trying to do is embed a lot of these resources in the community, because it's great that the court has an ability to respond to it, but we're only here during court hours.
Plea of not guilty.
Young people need to be held accountable. They need to be kept within boundaries.
King County Council member Reagan Dunn is an outspoken advocate for holding juveniles more accountable.
You give them a lot of rope to do the things, but if they're messing up, you got to tighten the reins.
For decades, there's been a bitter battle over what to do with juvenile offenders in King County, including whether or not to lock them up at all. Soon after the new detention center opened in 2020, the county executive advocated closing it down.
Councilmember Dunn?
Aye. Councilmember Dunn led the effort to squash that idea, with the full council voting last month to keep the facility open.
Closing the jail would have been catastrophic for recidivism in this community, and it would have been flat out dangerous and irresponsible to the citizens in our county to close it and send those kids back essentially out on the street.
Having my son go through that.
Back in Kent, Tyshawn has been out of the system for nearly 2 months now, his longest stretch since his first run-in.
I got a little brother, so it's just and he looks up to me, so it's and he's kind of like me, so it's dang, I got to be there for little bro.
But the numbers prove many fail to break through. Is the juvenile justice system working?
It's working as best as we can. We're like the ER. People come to us in crisis, and we may not be able to save everyone and fix everybody. And that doesn't mean that the ER is failing or not doing their job. It might mean that the people that are showing up are too damaged. It might require us as a community to figure out why are so many people coming to the ER in the first place.
The question everyone in the system is trying to answer. And the clock is ticking. In Seattle, Jim Nelson, King 5 News.